Hey, welcome everybody. This is Tim Williams. I'm the district executive here serving Southwest Washington. Welcome to our annual leadership luncheon. Today we will be honoring Catherine Kroll with the Distinguished Citizen Award. And I want to thank you all for attending today. Chris, can we go to the next slide, please? Today's MC is going to be Mike Philman. He is our district chair. He's served in this role for the last 4 years, and he's been a dedicated volunteer. You might have known him from the community. He ran his own Philman's hardware store out in Vancouver for years. Next slide. This area is served by myself and Sharon Kuroda as we serve all across Southwest Washington. So let's get the show kicked off, and thank you again for all coming. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to put them in the chat box. Thank you. Oh, I can't forget to thank the sponsors. Our title sponsor this year is the Holland Partner Group, and we also have been sponsored by Waste Connection Washington and American Legion, Bennett Mart Post number 27. So thank you for making this event possible, and thank you again.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Cascade Pacific Council's Southwest Washington Leadership Luncheon. I'm Mike Philbin, District Chair of the Spirit Lake District, and I will serve as your MC today. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today and wish we could be doing this in person. Today we will be presenting the Distinguished Citizen Award to Catherine Kroll and be asking for your support of our Scouts. To start the event, I will turn it over to Troop 358 and Heroism Award recipient Noah Gable for our opening ceremony. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
Attention. Audience, please rise. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. About. Face. Prepare to present the colors. Present the colors. Scout hand salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. About. Face. Prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. 2. About. Face. Forward march. Color guard, halt. Return to ranks, at ease.
Scout hand salute. Please follow me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now repeat after me the Scout law. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
For more than 100 years, the Boy Scouts of America has provided programs with a mission of preparing young people for adulthood and to be responsible citizens. Scouting offers exciting programs designed to inspire, build character, and instill the values boys and girls need to succeed today. Funds from today's luncheon will benefit 10,000 youth across Oregon and Southwest Washington. We would like to thank some of our sponsors for today's event: Holland Partner Group and Waste Connections of Washington Incorporated, and American Legion, Bennett Barnett Post 27. Today we are honoring Catherine Kroll with the Distinguished Citizen Award. Those who receive the award are not necessarily Boy Scout volunteers, but rather individuals who personify what the Scouts in the BSA stand for: good citizenship, outstanding moral fiber, a dedication to others, and for living their lives by the Scout Oath and Law. Catherine is the Director of Infection Prevention for Peace Health in Vancouver, Washington. She's being honored because of her diligence to lead infection prevention practices across Peace Health. She closely collaborates with community partners, serving seniors to offer guidance and support. With her leadership, she has teams across Washington, Oregon, and Alaska have gone above and beyond during the pandemic and instituted the highest patient safety standards to keep our communities safe. It's my honor to present this Distinguished Citizen Award to my friend Catherine Kroll. Catherine, while obviously busy at work, has been a great supporting member of our community, always there to answer questions, and I couldn't ask for a better friend or a better colleague during these very difficult times.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'm honored to receive this award. Thank you so much for being here today virtually in the room. I am so humbled to have been chosen for this award. As a member of a scouting family and having a brother who's an Eagle Scout, I know the work that you do, and it makes me very, very proud to be able to contribute to our community. I'm accepting this award not just on my behalf, but on behalf of all of my colleagues who've worked around the clock during this pandemic to assure that you have safe health care in this time. I also want to say thank you so much to the community. We were so thankful for all the meals, the donated protective equipment, the prayers, and the encouraging words, and we certainly felt your love. In healthcare, we experienced the same changes and guidance as you did as the science evolved. And those of us who are working in the infection prevention world were always trying to stay 3 steps ahead and be thinking about what's coming. We also experienced the global supply chain disruptions that you did. As you were scrambling for toilet paper, we were frequently pivoting to assure that we had the appropriate equipment to care for those who were coming into our hospital and to make sure that our healthcare workers were safe. I think of healthcare as a community service and a calling. Those of us who are in healthcare may have come into it from different angles, but we all come in with a common goal of helping people. Doctors and nurses are the face of healthcare. This last year, they worked extra shift. They accepted the responsibility of caring for the ill before we even knew how the virus was being spread. Some of them moved out of their homes to avoid bringing home and exposing their vulnerable loved ones to COVID. And I'm sad to say that more than 3,000 of my colleagues died this last year from the virus. This calling for me in healthcare, and specifically chasing infectious diseases, came from an early age. When I was 12 years old, I read a newspaper article about the Ebola outbreak occurring in the Congo, and specifically about the scientists who were chasing down and figuring out how the outbreak spread between people and animals. And I thought, gosh, that's what I want to do. Not be the person at the front line treating the patient, but be the person behind them supporting the work they're doing. The funny thing is that 18 months ago, if I had told someone at a party that I was an epidemiologist, they would have asked if I wanted to see a mole on their skin because they assumed I was actually a dermatologist. So one of the things that this pandemic has brought to me has been that I've been able to get out the word about being an infectious disease epidemiologist, and that there are careers behind the scenes in healthcare that support those who are at the front line giving the highest quality care. This is helping others at all times, and as I think about that, there are so many careers in healthcare that are not at that front line. My infection preventionists, whose job it is to assure that if a patient comes to the hospital with an infection, they don't spread it to others. And if you don't come to the hospital with an infection, making sure that you don't take one home, making sure that infections aren't spread to our healthcare workers and that they're able to go home safely to their families. There are many others behind the scenes in patient safety, in quality, in employee health who are doing that same thing so that we can all come together and care for our community. As we stand together now in the face of the unknown, this is different than many of the other infectious disease outbreaks that we've worked through. When I worked on a measles outbreak, I knew what the science was. I knew how to care for them. I knew how to prevent the spread. When COVID hit, so many of those things that I knew and relied on weren't there. And just like you, I've had to roll with the science and understand how we think about these things. And as we go through this, we don't know what the future of COVID's going to bring to our community. People ask me constantly, when are we going to go back to normal? And I say, gosh, I don't know if normal is going to be what it looked like before, but what I know is that there will be a time, and I hope in not the distant future, that we can be together again. The vaccines are providing a light at the end of the tunnel, and as I like to say, go towards that light. It's not a train this time. We keep looking for the opportunities to stop the spread and to serve our community together so that we can continue and grow our youth. Our community is stronger together, and it's stronger because of organizations like the Boy Scouts of America. Please give generously of your time and talents, and if you're able, finances, so that they can continue to grow our youth in service.
As we now transition to our Camp for All portion of the program, I would invite Matt DeVore, Scout Executive, Boy Scouts of America, Cascade Pacific Council.
Good afternoon. My name is Matt DeVore, Scout Executive for the Cascade Pacific Council, and I'm honored and humbled to join you for the virtual event this year. I think this is the 12th annual event in Southwest Washington, and in my 12 years here. I'm always delighted to join the group. I'm sorry we can't meet in person, but I'm humbled to add my thanks and share that I'm very inspired to hear about Catherine Kroll and her great work in Southwest Washington. Wonderful servant leader, particularly in the year that we've had with COVID and infectious disease and public health. But beyond that, the many, many other organizations that she's contributed to. The community is all about people, and Catherine, thank you for all you do for the community and for all of us. We really, really appreciate it. Beyond that, I'm also pleased to once again thank the Holland Partner Group for your lead sponsorship of the event again this year. You've been a tremendous partner and a supporter of not only Scouting, but the broader community for many, many years, and we appreciate that as well. You know, the last 13, 15 months have really been the most challenging times probably in many of our lives. Can't speak for you, but over the course of the COVID pandemic, wildfire smoke where we had the worst air quality index on the planet, a fire at one of our camps, the Butte Creek Scout Reservation, and then windstorms and winter storms and lack of electricity. You know, through all that, we continue to reflect on the phrase that we started to use last year a bit in our Scout Council: grit starts here. Never has grit been more evident in what we've experienced this past year. And I tend to be an eternal optimist, but I can't express any more gratitude than I have today for all of you that are joining us today, and for the many years of your support of not only Scouting, but our huge community. You know, grit is really interesting term in and of itself. It talks about the passion and perseverance for long-term meaningful goals. Further, the ability to persist in something you feel passionate about despite any and all circumstances and obstacles you face. That seems to sum up what we faced on our planet and in Oregon and Southwest Washington, the area we serve by the Cascade Pacific Council, over these past 13 to 15 months. But through these challenges, I've seen grit every day, every week, every month. We've seen people giving to each other. We see people connecting with others for those that have even more need than we have. Reaching out to neighbors, reaching out to people that need food and shelter and money just to get by. Beyond that, in Scouting, we've seen some of the greatest highlights that I've ever seen in my 34-year career with Scouting. We celebrated the inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts just a couple months ago. There were more than 1,000 girls roughly around the country that were part of that first Eagle Scout class of females. And here in the Cascade Pacific Council, we had several. And if you haven't taken time to look at some of their stories, they are remarkable. They are inspirational. Beyond that, I'll just mention another highlight or two within the Cascade Pacific Council. About a year ago, our board chair, Mark Gans, made a comment that he intended to lead our council and our board and all of our volunteers, the thousands of men and women that give so much to young people, as well as our staff and the broader community. But his tagline was that we were going to accelerate through the pandemic. And when I think back to when he said that, somewhere around last March or April of 2020, that is, I can't help but think about all that we faced in the months since then. Where we are today is that we're so close to getting through this pandemic now with strong optimism. But every day, every week, we're waking up grateful for all the blessings we have. We have accelerated through the pandemic. In just a mere 2 months, we open up our summer camps. We're highly optimistic we're going to be able to open summer camps and have a great summer. We can't wait for you to see all the improvements that were made over this past year. While we couldn't do our summer camp last year, we utilized almost every minute of the last 12 to 15 months to prepare for this summer. New shower houses, new flushable toilets in all the campsites. It's remarkable. It's almost a miracle. Flushing latrines. How about that? Hopefully it'll bring a smile to your face when you get to experience the joy of a flushing latrine. How about that? Maybe the only camp on the planet that has those are in our council. Beyond that, these new shower houses, which provide private rooms for every boy, girl, teenager, man, woman, you name it. Everybody will have their own private room. And then furthermore, another great improvement we made was to construct new hand washing stations in all of our campsites. Now, those were planned before COVID broke out. Sometimes you think maybe, well, is it luck or is it a strategy? And I would say it's a little bit of both. But I echo what Mark Gans said. We certainly have accelerated through the pandemic. Last but not least, thank you for all you do for our scouts and for our community. Thank you for helping us instill grit in these young people. Hopefully, as we look ahead to future generations, they'll look back and we'll look back to 2020 and 21, and we'll continue to remember what's most important in life, and that's other people. Thanks again for joining us today. We really appreciate all you do for kids in scouting, and on behalf of our entire team, of our board, all the volunteers, parents, and our scouts, thanks again.
The Cascade Pacific Council serves 10,000 youth across Oregon and Southwest Washington, with over 1,600 in Southwest Washington alone. We have some of the best camps in the country, providing world-class outdoor experience for kids from around the United States. These youth can go to Camp Merriweather and try land sailing, black powder rifles, or a 2.5-mile mountain bike trail. Or they can visit Camp Pioneer, nestled in the heart of the Mount Jefferson Wilderness. Or even head up to Mount Hood and visit Camp Baldwin. Here they find epic excursions on horseback, incredible rides on rapids, rock walls to scale, and trails to ride. You cannot find adventures like these anywhere else. Today, some of you have come with your checkbook in hand, ready to donate to the Cascade Pacific Council. If you choose to do this, we greatly appreciate your donation. However, we would like to encourage you to make a greater impact by donating monthly throughout 2021. This will give you the opportunity to make a larger impact with your dollars throughout the year. No matter what level or what amount you give, your support is greatly appreciated and will make a difference. A monthly donation of $25 would be a total of $300 for the year. A monthly donation of only $100 would total $1,200 and greatly help our scouts. Some of you have the means to do more, like Waste Connections, who pledged to donate $2,500. So get your phones and text SWWLL and the amount you pledge to 91999. Now let's turn this over to Tim Williams as we watch these gifts come in.
All right. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Catherine, for all that you do for the community. You know, you are such an inspiration to all our young scouts to knowing how you can give back and how you can serve your community, even in a role where you're not might be a frontline worker, but you're out there supporting and making sure everyone stays safe. You're an inspiration to all. Thank you, Catherine. So, as Mike said, you know, we can all use your help. If everyone gets out your phones, if you text 91999, so in the two, type 91999 and the word or letters SWWLL, it will send you a link to donate today. I just tried doing it. It auto-corrected to swell. Scouts are very swell, but you might have to try again to SWWLL. When you open up that link, you're going to have several options. And on those options, you are going to see you can give one time, monthly, or annually. And you'll see options of $50, $150, $200, or other amounts. So we want to please support our scouts. And as you support our scouts, we'll recognize your gifts as they come in. So please text 91999, the letters SWWLL. Now let's see how much we've raised today. So we had our Holland Partner Group who's donated $5,000 as a title sponsor today. We had the American Legion, Bennett Barnett Host 27 donate $2,500. Brian Malcolm donated $103. Sharon Bruce, thank you for your donation. Sharif, you helped plan this event and you still donated. Thank you. Tom McDonald, you're generous, donating $250. We had an anonymous donation for $25. Mike Bomar over at Port Vancouver, thank you for your support and leadership on this event as well too. Cindy Holloway with Waste Connections, another one of our sponsors, donated $2,500 to help this event. Ryan Hart with Port Vancouver donated $5,100. Catherine Kroll got the award and she even donated as well to $154 to help support the event. So thank you all for donating. And it's not too late. We got a couple more things we're going to talk about today. Please text SWWLL to 91999 or click the link in the chat box if it's easier for you if you don't have a cell phone handy there to text. You know, and as we wait for a few more of these to come on in, let's share the story again about Noah Gable, who is our Heroism Award recipient from Vancouver, Washington. He was only 10 years old and he saved a life and showed outstanding bravery. Go ahead, Chris, let's share that story.
When he was a 10-year-old Cub Scout, Noah Gable was swimming while on a campout with his grandparents. Noah was wearing a life jacket and was playing in the water with an inner tube with another boy, Lucas Johnson. All of a sudden, Lucas floated to an area of the river where he couldn't touch bottom and couldn't grab hold of the inner tube. Noah saw Lucas was struggling, and so Noah swam to him to help. Noah remembered his Cub Scout training and tried to lure and help Lucas back into the inner tube, but Lucas couldn't hang on to it. So Noah carried Lucas on his back and swam back to shore. Despite not being able to touch and being pulled underwater multiple times with Lucas on his back, witnesses say Noah kept calm and kept swimming to shore until an adult could reach them. For his bravery, Noah Gable is being awarded the Honor Medal for saving a life during a water rescue. Congratulations, Noah!
That is just an amazing story of what our scouting program does to teach grit and how it can affect our communities. I mean, when he was just 10, showing that kind of calm bravery to help save a friend until an adult could help, that's just amazing. And this is what you're supporting here today. So, you know, it's not too late. Please still text SWWLL to 91999. I know we still have some more gifts coming in. And you know why we have a couple more coming in before we go back to the screen? I want to thank everyone who also came again, has been coming for several years. Chris, can we show what our donations paid for this last year and the impact that we made?
Year-old Cub Scout Noah Gable.
When our summer camps got canceled last summer, it was, a big blow. But because of donors like you, we were able to switch to a lot of virtual programming. Some of that was highlighted there in that video. And we were able to open some of our properties just up for families to come visit and do some family camping. I know my family took my 3 kids out to Camp Clark out in Tillamook, and we got to go out and had a whole campsite to ourselves where we got to go play in the sand on the beach. My kids buried each other out there. There actually probably saw a picture there in that slideshow. We got to go explore the tide pools and see all the fun creatures out there. And I am so looking forward to going back this summer. We can welcome, over 500 scouts coming out at least this summer. We're hoping to get another 600-700, scouts out there as well. We got a lot of other fun stuff coming in for camps as well. But let's do a quick check-in to see where we're at on our goals. So we're switching screens back here. Looks like we've had about another 500 come in since those videos started playing. Ooh, Jerry Hastings has made a big contribution. He donated $1,800 this year, and he sent a note a little bit earlier saying he was planning on increasing his donation this year because he knew of the hard year that we had and knew that we definitely needed some little extra support. So thank you, Jerry, for all your support this year, and for years to come, you've been a very loyal donor to us. So we are at $13,000. So thank you for all your support here. Chris, let's jump back over. Let's show the what to expect at camp this summer. And then we'll go back in here as we go through some more of these donations. Wow, those camps look amazing, and they are. I grew up as a youth in this council, and I can't wait for these scouts to have that experience again this summer. I know so many were missing out on the experience last year, and so it's great to have be able to run them again this year. We got the okay from the state of Oregon, and we're just so glad we get to go back. Right now, we are at raised $13,620. I wanted to thank Douglas Ritzmima and William Ward for their generous donations. And we're getting so close to our goal. You know, all the money we raise today goes supporting our scouts, and we make such a big impact out in Southwest Washington. Last year, the council had over 360 Eagle Scouts, and over 80 of those came from Southwest Washington. And that's just so impressive for such a crazy year that we had. And out of those 360 scouts that got Eagle Scout, that was over 72,000 hours of community service. No other organization had that kind of positive community impact. So I want to thank everyone for coming today and helping support our scouts. It is not too late to text in your donation to SWWLL to 91999 and help us reach our goal. We'll be a fundraising hit this rest of the week. We did have several people who cannot be here today, but we will hit our goal. And I want to thank all you generous supporters. And as we wrap up this presentation, I do want to highlight several of our Eagle Scouts from the council that and what they've done to help support our communities and what they said the scouting program has done to them. So, Chris, let's end on that. Roll that video. All right. Well, thank you all again for coming and your support. We have so far today raised $13,620. Because of your generous support, you're helping us impact the lives of the 10,000 youth that we serve. And, with our program, grit truly does start here. And we've shown that through this whole last year, going through this pandemic. And because of your support and generosity, you'll keep this program coming live for years to come. And because of you, grit will last forever. So thank you again for coming today. And thank you for your support. We'll be working on hitting our goal for the rest of the week.